My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes in life, no matter how hard we try, certain doors just refuse to open. You push, you knock, you wait, but the door doesn't budge. You start questioning yourself. You start feeling hopeless. You wonder, why isn't anything working out? Why is Allah delaying me? But I want to remind you of something powerful. Just because a door is closed now, just mean it's locked forever. And just because it's locked, doesn't mean Allah won't give you the key. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, opens the right door at the right time for the right reason. Sometimes the door you are crying for is not the one that will lead you to goodness. He don't see it yet, but Allah does. He sees what you cannot. He knows what would happen if He gave you that thing you're begging for at that moment, in that condition. And because He loves you, He holds it back, not to break your heart, but to protect your future. When a child cries for candy before dinner, the parent may refuse, not because they don't love the child, but because they know what the child doesn't. That's the mercy of the parent. And Allah's mercy is far greater than that of any parent. So if Allah is not giving you what you want right now, trust that it's His mercy in action. Don't think He's forgotten you. No, not for a moment. Allah hears every dua you make. He hears the whispers of your heart before you even say them out loud. He sees your efforts. He sees your tears. And He knows your pain. But He also knows the exact moment that is best for your relief. Not a moment early, not a moment late. Remember, the Prophet faced closed doors too. He was rejected in Taif. He was boycotted in Makkah. He was driven out by his own people. But Allah opened the doors of Medina at the perfect time. And through that door, Islam spread across the world. If He had lost hope before Medina, where would we be? So when you find yourself waiting at a door that doesn't open, do two things. Keep knocking, with dua, with effort, with patience, and keep trusting. Because when Allah opens His door, it's not just one door, it's a way out, a way forward, and a way up. Sometimes He closes one door to open another one that leads to much greater good. You just haven't arrived at it yet. That job you didn't get might have saved you from corruption. That person who walked away might have made space for someone better. That opportunity you lost may have been a protection in disguise. Allah doesn't make mistakes. He opens what is best for you when you are ready for it. And in the meantime, don't stop living, don't stop growing, don't stop worshipping. Use the waiting period to build your connection with Allah, to strengthen your character, to prepare for what's coming. Because when that door finally opens, you want to be the person who's ready to walk through it with grace, with gratitude, and with faith. So no matter how long you've been waiting, don't worry. Keep turning to Allah. Keep walking with patience. And keep reminding your heart, the door that Allah opens will be the one that brings you peace, not confusion. Light, not darkness. And closeness to Him, not distance. Let that be enough reason to smile through the wait. Ye beloved brothers and sisters, how often have we stood in front of a door in life, waiting, hoping, even crying for it to open? Maybe it's the door of marriage, the door of a job, the door of healing, the door of peace, or the door of ease after years of hardship. We knock with sincerity. We make dua with desperation. We wait with patience. And yet it feels like the door just won't open. It feels like we're stuck, like we've been forgotten. But I want to remind you today, a delayed door is not a denied door. Sometimes, when the door doesn't open right away, we think Allah is saying no. But more often than not, Abdullah is actually saying not yet. There's a big difference. He's not rejecting you. He's protecting you. And he's preparing something better for you, or preparing you for something better. You see, Abdullah is not just looking at what you want right now. He's looking at how what you want will affect your future, your heart, your deen, your akhirah. We are short-sighted. We only see what's in front of us, but Allah sees the full picture. He knows what's waiting on the other side of that door. And if what's behind it isn't good for you at this moment, He will delay it, not to punish you, but to protect you. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone begging Allah to get married to a particular person. The person looks ideal on the surface, but Allah, in His wisdom, knows the unseen, so He delays it. Not because He doesn't want you to be happy, but because He wants your happiness to be real and lasting. And that delay might save you from years of heartache. You might not realize it now, but one day you will look back and say, Alhamdulillah, that door didn't open. Other times, Allah delays a door because you're not ready for it. You might want a promotion, but Allah wants you to build more character first. You might want a platform, but Allah wants your intentions purified. You might want recognition, but Allah wants you to taste humility first, so that when the door finally opens, you walk through it with gratitude, not arrogance. If the door opened too soon, it could destroy you, but if it opens at the right time, it could elevate you. So the delay isn't just protection, it's preparation. Allah is working on your heart, your mindset, your habits, your resilience. He's strengthening your soul for what's to come. Every hardship you're facing now is not in vain. Every test is training. Every silent dua is recorded. Every tear is counted. And when the door finally opens, it won't just be a blessing. It will be a reward for your patience and trust. My brothers and sisters, we need to shift our mindset. Delay doesn't mean Allah doesn't love you. In fact, delaying something that could harm you is the very proof of His love. If only we knew how many things He protected us from that we were once begging for. That job you didn't get, that trip that got cancelled, that relationship that didn't work out. Perhaps it was Allah placing a shield between you and harm. And sometimes the door we're asking for isn't even the right one. But we're so emotionally attached to it that we can't imagine anything else. But Allah in His mercy says, you wanted this, but I've written something better. And when His door finally opens, you'll forget why you ever cried over the wrong one. So if you're in that waiting phase right now, don't despair. Keep making dua. Keep seeking closeness to Allah. Keep doing your part. But let go of the anxiety. Let go of the need to control the outcome. Because the one who controls the doors is the one who loves you more than anyone else. When Allah opens that door, it will be worth every second of the wait. So trust Him, even in the silence, even in the delay, especially in the delay, because that delay isn't rejection, it's your protection, and it's your preparation for something better than you imagined. My beloved brothers and sisters, how many times have we made dua for something with full conviction, asking Allah for a specific outcome? certain that this is what we need in our lives. And then, after all our pleading and crying, the exact thing we asked for didn't happen. The door we waited to open stayed shut, and we began to feel disappointed. Some of us even felt like our prayers were unanswered. But let me remind you of something beautiful. Allah doesn't always open the door you want. Instead, He opens the door you need. And there is a world of difference between the two. We want what our limited mind can understand. We ask for what our heart desires. But Allah, in His infinite wisdom, gives us what is best for us, even if it doesn't match our plan, because He knows what we know not. He sees what we cannot see. He is not only the all-hearing and all-seeing, but He is the most wise. There are moments in our lives when we are completely convinced that a particular path is right for us. Maybe it's a job, a marriage, an opportunity, or a solution to a problem. We plan around it. We imagine our future with it, and when it doesn't work out, we feel crushed. But sometimes what we desire so strongly might not be good for our hearts, for our character, for our future, or even for our faith. Imagine a child asking for something dangerous simply because it looks shiny or fun. A parent would never hand over something harmful just because the child cries for it. Not because the parent doesn't love the child, but because they do. Similarly, Allah in His mercy protects us from what we want if it will harm our hearts, our lives, or our akhirah. Many times the door you want is tied to short-term comfort, not long-term benefit. You want a quick solution to a problem, but Allah wants to give you growth, strength, and a deeper connection with Him. That path you thought would make your life easier might actually take you away from your purpose. So Allah redirects you, not to punish you, but to protect you. That's love. That's divine care. There are people who desperately wanted to marry someone they loved, and it didn't happen. Years later, they thank Allah with tears in their eyes for not opening that door. There are those who cried because they were denied a job only to find something better, more fulfilling, and more stable down the line. And then they realize Allah knew what He was doing all along. Sometimes you get exactly what you asked for and realize it wasn't good for you. And other times, what you didn't want becomes the greatest blessing in your life. That is how Allah works. That's why we submit to Him. That's why we say, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is enough for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs. When a door doesn't open, don't rush to frustration. Instead, rush to trust. Trust that the delay, the denial, or the detour is actually guidance. And trust that when a door opens by His command, it will bring you closer to peace, to clarity, and to Him.
Remember,
Next time you find yourself crying over a closed door, remind yourself, maybe that door wasn't for me. Maybe Allah has written something better. And instead of asking, why didn't this happen? Ask, what is Allah teaching me through this? Because the moment you let go of what you want and submit to what you need, what Allah knows you need, you will find peace, true peace. Finally walk through the door Allah opens for you, you'll look back and thank Him for not giving you what you once begged for. That is the beauty of divine wisdom. That is the mercy of your Lord. ChatGPT said, my beloved brothers and sisters, So often in life we find ourselves standing in front of a door, waiting for it to open. We stand with hope in our hearts and du'as on our tongues. We knock through our prayers. We knock through our efforts. We knock through our patience. But sometimes, despite everything, the door remains closed, and we start to feel confused. We begin to wonder, am I not trying hard enough? Is Allah not listening to me? Let me remind you today, your job is to keep knocking. That is your responsibility. That is what Allah expects from you. You keep turning to Him with sincerity. You keep striving with what is in your control. You keep your character upright. You keep your hope alive. But the timing, the exact moment that door opens, that belongs to Allah alone. And His timing is always perfect. You see, sometimes we confuse effort with control. We think that just because we worked hard or because we made heartfelt dua, the outcome should come immediately. But that's not how divine wisdom works. Allah doesn't operate on our timeline. He operates on His own. And His plan is based on absolute knowledge, while ours is limited. Let me share something to help us reflect. Imagine planting a seed. You water it, you nourish it, you take care of it every day. But you know very well that you can't force the plant to grow overnight. No matter how much you water it, no matter how much you love it, the seed will take its time. And if you try to dig it up to check whether it is growing, you might end up damaging it completely. The same goes for your efforts and your du'as. They are like seeds. They need time, they need consistency, but most of all, they need trust in the one who brings growth. That door you are waiting on might be something you truly need, or it might be something Allah is protecting you from. But either way, He knows when or if it should open. Your job is not to break the door down. Your job is not to give up in frustration. Your job is to keep knocking gently and patiently with the certainty that when the time is right, Allah will open it in a way that is best for you. This world teaches us that we must hustle and chase and control every outcome. But our faith teaches us something else. It teaches us to do our part, but to leave the outcome to Allah. It teaches us that results don't always come right after effort. Sometimes they come after struggle. Sometimes they come after heartbreak. And sometimes they don't come at all, because something even better is being prepared for us instead. There are people who cried for years over a door that never opened, only to realize later that Allah had planned something far more beautiful. There are those who thanked Allah years later for not giving them what they once begged for. There are those who thanked Allah years later for not giving them what they once begged for. And then there are those who kept knocking, kept praying, and eventually walked through the very door they were waiting at with stronger faith, deeper wisdom, and more gratitude than ever. So don't underestimate your knocking. Every dua you make is heard. Every effort you make is recorded. Every tear you shed is witnessed by the most merciful. Even if the door doesn't open yet, you are being shaped, you are being cleansed, you are being prepared. And that is the noble exhibition of an Ilya prayer. And sometimes the waiting itself is the mercy. Sometimes if Allah gave you what you're asking for too soon, it would overwhelm you. You might not be ready yet. The people involved might not be ready yet. The timing might not be right. But Allah, in His kindness, knows exactly when to deliver what is best. So be consistent. Keep going. Knock with patience. Knock with dua. Knock with hard work. And when the time is right, that door will open not just in the way you imagined, but in a way that brings barakah, peace, and closeness to Allah. And when it does, you will look back and realize that the wait wasn't a delay, it was a process, it was a journey, it was preparation, and most importantly, it was proof that Allah never ignores the one who knocks sincerely and patiently at His door.